My learned colleague, before hurriedly leaving the courtroom,
Wahala.
has accused my client of promiscuity, which can be pardoned out of ignorance because, of course, it might be ignorance. It might be the ignorance of who and the viability of my client in the society. My learned colleague here do not know that you don't trample on the rights of women in the society. That being said, my learned colleague here has been able to substantiate, but not fully, that there was a fight that had made my client opted to leave the vehicle. My lord, that speaks a volume. Let us look at it. This is a gentlewoman, someone with someone with good attitude in the society, who does not want to be seen with fights, who does not want to have issues with anybody, especially her husband. She opted that this is a kind of argument between you and I. I would love to drop from this vehicle and sleep in a hotel. But because the deceased here wanted the bond between him and his wife, had to beg his wife to follow him to the house. But it still speaks a volume that my client, which is the wife of this deceased, wanted to calm down. Assuming the deceased allowed the wife to calm down, we will not be mentioning the wife in this case anymore. Going further, my lord, my learned colleague has also been able to shed more light on the innocence of my client. He said, and I quote, he said, the wife had issues and was trying to lock the husband and all, which was substantiated by spending collected the child. My lord, did spending collect the child, or there was something we don't know? Because I look at the human understanding there. Two lover birds are fighting, but what you could do is to collect the child and allow them fight, because you are the arena to look at them fighting. Let's not even meddle into that fact for a while. Let us go further into the nitty-gritty of this case, my lord. One thing we cannot separate from marriage in our society today is domestic violence. Irrespective of how big or small it is, two lover birds, husband and wife, must have issues. And going further, my lord, you as a person sitting on that exalted seat, my lord, you also have your spouse, and I am sure you have had some issues with him or her at a point in time. It is barbaric. It is unfounded. It is something I cannot wrap my heads around, and I think the court here cannot wrap their heads around it, that my client can. I don't want to use that word because it is even barbaric. Can unalive her husband, someone they have been together through thick and thorns. They started their life together, according to my client here. When the husband doesn't have anything, they've been together. But here, my learned colleague is trying to shift the blame. Is this blame game? I want to tell this court of law to actually not look at the direction of this my soft, gentle-souled client, because she can't do that. And based on the fact that there are issues going on in marriage, there will be issues, they will fight. And this is not the first fight. Even according to a witness here named Prime Boy, he said he has been to there and they always have issues. If they have been having issues every day, would the husband still be alive today if every issues would always lead to death? My lord, it is unfounded and baseless that my client, my learned colleague here can accuse my client wrongly. And to even say it, he said he also lay emphasis on it that the wife, my client, wanted to leave the car. That is not an act of someone who would, at the end of the day, who has some things going on, some shenanigans going on in her heart to unalive the husband. If she wanted to unalive the husband, she wouldn't have said, "I want to leave the car." I think this is a case of trying to just meddle and trample on woman rights here. Is it because my client is a female counterpart? Are you trying to put this on her just because she's a female? No, we shouldn't do that. Our law is totally against it. I want the honorable court here to put more intelligence into this case, and you will realize that there are other things going on underneath, which one of them is to try to frame my client here. They are just trying to frame my client. She is as innocent as anything here. And then my learned colleague has said we can also accuse my client of negligence. What is negligence, my lord? Negligence is purposefully leaving someone to be hurt. And in this case, it has been stated that the deceased never wanted to visit a hospital. Are we also saying that my client should have forcefully take the deceased to a court against his will? If you ask me, my lord, that is an offense on its own and punishable under Nigerian constitution. Are you saying she is supposed to take the deceased to a hospital against the deceased will? The deceased have said, "I don't want to visit a hospital. Don't take me to a hospital," according to the witness here, according to what my client have substantiated. My lord, sir, my client cannot be held responsible for negligence because it is the will of the deceased not to visit the hospital. I think that is sealed. Going further, my lord, Mrs. Wunmi Cynthia Aloba is a peaceful and law-abiding citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in this case, she has no case to answer because she did not in any way cause harm to the deceased. Or was there an evidence of she poisoning the deceased? According to the toxicology, there was no place stated that the deceased was poisoned. Was the deceased strangled? There was no claim to that. There was no evidence to that it was strangled. My lord, why are we beating around the bush? Why are we trying to just trample and overflog this issue? We are trampling on woman rights here, which I want this court of law to take very important. You must take women's right very important. Because my client here is the wife, does that have to say she must bend the will of her husband? Capital no, my lord. Capital no. My learned colleague has also said that the wife can always talk, they can say what's happened and all. She has said all he knows. She said when it was getting out of hand, They rushed the deceased to the hospital, which I can also say against the disease. But of course, looking at that, is that negligence? The deceased is not responding to some quack treatment that was given to him. Of course, it wasn't my client that called the nurse. No. So at this point, my client wanted the husband to be in the hospital, and the husband, they took him to the hospital, and when they got to the hospital, permit me to use Yoruba word, that ẹlẹ́ran ti tú okùn. How can we now accuse or lay some accusation on my client? My lord, this is no case, because to prove anything against my client here is no brainer. I urge and strongly urge this court of law to acute and let go of my client, and also put it to the public that no one should mention my client's name as a killer in this case anymore. This is barbaric, my lord. My client can't do something of such. Can anyone in this court of law bring any evidence up here to say this is how Wunmi Cynthia Aloba unalived his husband? No, they can't. Regardless of their emotions, which has no evidence backing, I know my lord here knows what is right and will do what is right. They have no evidence. They are just trying to bully and trample on my client's right, which is never going to be. We are not going to take it. The law of Nigeria works, and we are going to follow the law to the latter. With these few points of mine, my lord, let us drop all charges against my client and allow justice system to work. If the justice system of Nigeria will work according to the constitution and according to human rights, and woman rights, my client has no case to answer. My client has no case to answer, my lord. I submit. At this point, I feel if anyone wants to go on with me, of course I would mute and let's hear what you have to say. Everyone's auntie Queen B, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, my learned friend. Thank you.
We are actually playing the devil's advocate, and of course, no one is right, no one is wrong. We are just examining the Nigerian justice system. We are not exonerating Wunmi of anything, and we are not saying anyone should be held responsible for anything here. This is just like a what do they call that court in university?
Mooting.
Moot court or something. So I'm with you. I'm the defense for Mrs. Wunmi Cynthia Aloba. Rest my case.
Okay, thank you, my learned friend. Your Honor, I would like to bring the court back to the law of tort. Evidence from the event at the concert proves that there was a heated argument between Mrs. Cynthia Aloba and the late Mr. Ilerioluwa Aloba. Now, this argument became so heated that Spending, who was also in the car, had to take the child away from Cynthia for safety to show how provoked both people were. Now, upon arriving at home, because I am going to go past all of the events which occurred on the way home, because it happens to be, it's more of hearsay. So upon getting home, when it was discovered that Mohbad, who is the deceased, had an injury on the arm, we do not know how he sustained that injury, even though they have claimed that he had the injury from punching a car. Now, there's been no evidence to prove. There is no broken car window. There are no videos to show, no photographs to show, besides the statement given by the wife, Cynthia Aloba, and corroborated by the brother of Mobad, who wasn't there when the fight occurred, but said Cynthia told him. So this again is hearsay and cannot be accepted in court because there is no evidence to prove. Now, taking it back to the case of negligence, upon getting home and realizing that Mobad had been bleeding profusely, as the court stated, as the police statement stated, as the wife, Cynthia owes Mobad a duty of care and should have gotten him timely medical attention. Cynthia failed to get Mobad timely medical attention and waited for a nurse to be called from out of state. And by the time the nurse came, Cynthia still did not show enough care to be present to witness the nurse treating her husband. Every question asked Cynthia, she has said, I wasn't there. I was cooking. I don't know. Now, as a wife, Cynthia has failed to show a duty of care to her husband. And as a result, by the time Mobad was taken to medical attention, he was declared dead on arrival. So, staying on the facts of law, I want to say that Cynthia was negligent and caused the death of her husband because of her inaction.
My lord, I feel this court has entertained another baseless accusation, which is still bordering around negligence. My lord, my learned colleague here has failed to still understand that it is duty of care for a wife to cook, for a wife to find what the husband will eat. My client here is not a medical personnel. My client here is not a nurse nor a doctor. Is my learned colleague here trying to say that my client should be where they are probably giving the husband injection and not cooking for the husband, which will make the injection work more?
Objection, my
further.
lord.
Objection overruled, my learned colleague. This is baseless. You are saying negligence, my learned colleague. Negligence is when you leave things undone that are supposed to be done. Are you saying, if you are saying negligence and duty of care, it is duty of care to give food to your husband. She is not the nurse. She is not the medical personnel in this case. So she can get in a life-threatening situation. The wife should cook for the husband. Are you saying the husband should take injection on an empty stomach? Let us be honest with ourselves, my learned colleague, and not make an innocent go through these things you are making my clients go through. It is uncalled for. I respect the Nigerian constitution so well, and my clients here respect the Nigerian constitution and law so much that anyone must not kill another person. And in this case, my client have not killed or unalived her husband. The only thing my client has done here was to make sure the husband is hale and healthy by cooking for the husband. And that is there are evidence to that. Everyone have said, even my client said, I was in the kitchen trying to cook food for my husband. How can someone in the kitchen cooking food for the husband and can you be at two places at a time? She is in the kitchen trying to cook. How come she is also in the room stabbing the husband? Let us be devoid of emotions here, my lord. Let us be devoid of emotions and look at this thing straight in the eye. My Lord, as a suggestion to this honorable court, anyone that have accused my client of negligence again should be put behind the bars. I submit.
Listen, I can't go on like this anymore. Honestly, I'm cracking up because
Me to crack up. You won't crack up in the court of law. Will you crack up in the court of law?
I'm cracking up in the. Yeah,
I'm just more concerned about giving hope to the other team, you know, because if we flog this thing further, we'll be giving them clues,
right.
You know, we'll be giving them clues. But of course, to me personally, aside from the fact that if there are evidence of CCTV in the house or a video capturing the moment that some bad things are happening, that is the only thing or only way to bring down this person. If Wunmi team should have a competent, I'm not a lawyer, self. I've not gone through court or anything.
Really?
I've not been in court in my life. But as a layman like myself, if I can defend Wunmi, a competent lawyer would defend better than me.
But clearly, the system is working against this case, okay? If things were done properly and if things were done promptly, there would have been sufficient evidence to find those who were culpable. Okay, first and foremost, when this incident happened and the body was taken to the police station, the first thing the police should have done was to go back to the crime scene and cordon off that house, get everybody out of the house, do their forensic sweep, and begin to take everyone who was present in that house in for interrogation. Now, that wasn't done. That house was left open. Vital evidence had been contaminated because people were free to go in and out of that house. Okay? Immediately, the police should have interrogated everybody from those people who were with him from 72 hours from the concert to the point from when Mohbad lost his life. All of that was not done. At what point did the police see it fit to come to the house to search for evidence? At the time, most evidence has been contaminated. But even now, if they bring experts, they can still get some form of evidence. They haven't done a forensic phone test of all of those people who have their phones in their homes to know what form of communication went on. Now, Prime Boy claimed that he had called Mohbad. He claimed that he had called Wunmi. We have no evidence of that. All we're hearing is what Prime Boy is telling us. Okay, now, if forensics has been done on all of the phones of those people who were with Mohbad or who lived with him, we would be able to fix the jigsaw puzzle, because there are a lot of pieces that are missing. And clearly at this point, we can see that there is a group who are sworn to each other not to say what has happened in that house. Because how do you have your brother and your cousin and your wife live with you in the same house, and yet none of them can say what has happened? Now, the police on their own side have failed Mohbad woefully for not doing what police should do, because all of the people who were in that house shouldn't be available to be walking around free. The people who were taking into custody was Prime Boy and Spending, who shouldn't have been in the first place, because the only crime that Spending has committed was giving the phone number, and he didn't even willfully give it to them. He used Lifestyle's phone to call the nurse. When he didn't get her, he left. Lifestyle, in the absence of Spending, now called the nurse. At that point, Spending was no longer in that house. So why would Spending be held accountable for calling the nurse? Because he didn't give her instructions. He didn't even get to speak to her. So now why is also Prime Boy being accused for a fight where there is no evidence? They've come up with several excuses or leads for what could have killed Mohbad. The first announcement was that he had an ear infection. Then from an ear infection, it went to a fight with Prime Boy. And then from there, it went to an Obe Mackinger. So you can see that there's a constant effort to change their script. Now, Prime Boy has finally spoken to say that Mohbad's argument with his wife. I'll go back again. When a lot of these young boys were speaking, they kept using the word fight, fight, fight. And on so many occasions, I had to tell the host or different people to separate this, change the word. The people are using fight to describe a serious argument. So when we hear them use the word fight, they're not fighting, they're having heated arguments. So that could have misconstrued the argument between Mohbad and Prime Boy. Mohbad telling him to get out of the car. Get out of the car. That's not a fight. That's him just aggressively telling him to leave the car. So if there's no proof of a broken window, there's no photographs showing a fight, how do you prove that there was a fight? Again, if Prime Boy has now come to say that Mohbad was arguing with his wife about personal issues, which also involved the paternity of his child, that in itself is a red flag. And that in itself confirms why Cynthia has refused to do a DNA. If that child belonged to Mohbad, yes, she could resist for a couple of months to prove a point, but nearly 9 months, even following a court order, and she's still dilly-dallying, then that's a red flag there. There's been so many other things to show that that child possibly may not be Mohbad's child. One, the calculation of her pregnancy. Two, the connection that she has with you-know-who. Three, there's been too many Chinese whispers. Chinese whispers is when people are going about pointing fingers about somebody. There is nothing to prove that it's true, but there are too many people talking about it. When too many people are saying something, then there is no smoke without fire. If Cynthia truly believes that this child is Mohbad's child, all she needs to do is a simple consent for that child to be tested to prove that he is indeed Mohbad's son. Not doing
Everyone's
that. Yes, go ahead.
yeah, everyone's auntie. I really appreciate your take on this issue, and it has been insightful for you. Well, I don't want to go off the topic which the host of this platform has directed. He started this devil's advocate, and we have been going back and front since.
Okay.
But I think you backed out on that little wiggy of talking. Trying to have a conversation, reasonable conversation, logical conversation on what the justice system might look like.
Yeah.
And I think I also have many other commenters and people that are on this platform, and I feel like we should still go on with what the host said we should.
Sure.
I feel if there is anyone on this platform now that you feel like you can take any side. I'm a freelancer who can take any person as my client and defend the person. So what you just do is to say, in this case of so I want to defend so person, and I will defend the other person. And that is what the host wanted, actually. So Precious, Princey, Golden Seal, JCCJ, do you think we should try something? And you can pick anybody, Baba, you can just about this case, and that person you are leaving to the just name anybody. I'll take the opposition.
My lord, there are words. I put it to you.
I'm your learned colleague. I'm your learned colleague. The commenters are the Lord. They are the judge.
Okay. The commenters, I put it to you that ask me that what?
I'm with you, boss.
Ask me that
So
what
who was
now?
taking side
Go on.
of who was taking side of Wumi
You
before?
are presenting a case now. Go on.
I don't
Present your
understand.
case,
Can
Jesse.
you try to explain what is going on?
Okay, Golden Seal. I don't know if you were here when we started this back and forth, but I am Papariano. Of course, I personally,
Uh-huh.
Dra Wealth, I'm on the same team as everybody. I want justice for Mohbad. But what we have tried to spice up things,
Okay.
try to put ourselves in the case of what is going on in the justice system of Nigeria. And then we have said that I am Papariano
Okay.
actually, when we started, he took defense for Prime Boy. I took defense for Mohbad, that Prime Boy had something to do with Mohbad injury. We left that, we
Okay.
argued that, and it was entertaining and also insightful to the commenters and everybody. And the second one, we just left, before he left anyways, he took defense for Mohbad's team, which is Justice for Mohbad, and I took defense for Justice for Wumi, which has
Okay.
also been insightful and and entertaining at the same time. So I'm pushing it further now that we can still have that kind of argument. If you think there is a case in front of you that you think the justice system is not doing due diligence to, present the case, take a part, state your part that this is the this
Okay.
is
Can
this is the
okay, me
defense
and
and
Jesse, CJ, yeah? Me and Jesse CJ.
Yeah, I'm
Are we
here.
both representing anyone or anybody?
who are you
Okay,
representing
yeah, Jesse. Who
and
are you
what is your
supporting?
case and what is your case
Who
in
are you
front of this
representing?
honorable court of law.
Me, I want to speak against the police.
No. Speak against the police. Okay?
Police, no, the government is the one to give us this justice. Don't forget. So you cannot go
Yes.
on
You
government
can't.
now.
Yes. It's not even right. Aside from the fact
I
that
mean
we are,
the police as a body.
Oh, yeah, be Wumi now.
no, the police. What is your
Oh, yeah,
case
take a
against the
Wumi
police?
side.
What is your case against the police? What's your concern against the actions of the police?
Yeah,
Then I will take defense for the police. So yeah, let's do it.
okay. Um, how will I even start? Will I greet you?
Just state your case and we'll flog it further.
Okay, my lord, I want to bring to the notice of this honorable court that thus far the police has done a very bad job in investigating this issue. My lord,
Jesse is muted anyways. You are muted if you are talking.
okay, sorry.
Jesse, oh, yeah. Who are you representing, Jesse? The police?
He is representing the public that have brought the case of the police to the court
Sorry,
of law,
somebody is
and I am
muting
the
me.
defense
Somebody
of
is
the
muting
police.
me. I don't know. Someone is
State your.
muting me.
Is someone meeting you?
Yeah, I don't know. Paparano,
Who
is that
is
you?
muting people now? I don't know. Somebody muted me too. Who
All
is
right.
that moderator muting people?
Moving on. Moving on. You have brought a
Okay.
case against the police, the Nigerian police force, that they have not done the right. I take exception of the word you use, that they've done a bad job. No, I would therefore correct that word. I withdraw that statement on your behalf that they have not done enough job. My lord, the case of the police in this case, in this matter, should not be overflogged anyways. We have good and working Nigerian police who are following due diligence and human rights. My learned colleague here have said the police are not doing their job to the latter. But I want to remind this honorable court that it was the police that detected that there was no CCTV in the house. It was the police that detected that
Objection.
objection
Objection,
sustained.
Wells.
Objection sustained.
Objection, Wells.
Sustained.
Okay. Now, my lord, that is not presentable enough for my co-colleague to say the police actually do their work diligently. That is not true. They only acted according to what they've been told by the wife of the deceased, and that is not true. The police did not even go to the house to do their findings. No, they didn't do that. They only acted on what they've been told. When the incident happened, the late Elerioluwa Aloba, his father said when he got to the house, the duvet was soaked with full of blood. And after then, the police did not even bother to go to the house to do the thoroughly investigation about what the man said that speak about. They didn't do that. No, there are so many things they need to look into. The CCTV issue was being raised as one of the TikTokers on social media because this case is on a public domain. So with the way everything is on the public domain right now, people see and they're talking about the things that they're supposed to do when necessarily, but the police are not putting their mind in those consideration of doing their investigation carefully. Up to date, my lord, as we speak now, the phone wasn't where to be found. We're still looking for the phone. Where is the phone of the late Ilerioluwa Aloba, well known as Mohbad? We can't find the phone. Are the police actually working? That is one point. The second point I want you to look at, where is the deceased laptop? Nowhere to be found. The reason why I mentioned the laptop, we can see that there's some flash drive that is being used with the system. Probably my clients might have a very strong evidences on that laptop. If we can get the laptop and we bring out the flash drive on that laptop, there is possibility the CCTV can be connected to that drive. But the police never try to even go to the house and do their investigation. The house people still stay there up to date as we are speaking without the house being sealed up. So what are they going to tell us that they are working? They are working on what investigation, my lord? I will appeal to this court, this honorable court, to look at those aspects that some things are still missing when they are not doing the needful. When the incident happened, the father of the deceased got to the house and he met almost 100 people standing in the house without him knowing that the son has gone. What could be the problem, my lord? My court colleagues were just trying to defend when they're supposed to defend them. That is not good enough. So I will appeal to this court to let the police to do their needful, to do the job they're supposed to do. Not defending the police, and it is obvious that most people can see that they are not doing their work the way it's supposed to be. Thank you, my lord. I rest my case now.
Thank you, my
Thank
you, my learned colleague.
My lord.
And my lord, as much as I agree with my learned colleague here that the police still needs to do more, I want to take exceptions to some words she have used, and I would really, really want her to take it back. Now, this is my point, my lord. It took more than a decade before the United States of American policing system could get the perpetrators of Tupac's death. So In this case, pari passu, the police workings cannot be brought to the public that this is what we are doing, this is what we are doing. No, it is not done anywhere in the world. The police are on their top A game and they are really digging deep into this case without the knowledge of the public. I hope my learned colleague here will agree with me that the police doesn't need to write in the forefront of the newspaper that this is what we are doing, this is what we are doing, as pertaining to the investigation at hand. And I hope my learned colleague will also understand that the case has not been closed. This file is still in front of the Nigerian police and they are working tirelessly to unravel the secret beneath. So I beckon on every Nigerians and I beckon on these honorable courts, I beckon on my learned colleague to put even if a little faith, an iota of faith into the justice system and the Nigerian police. It is not a day job, and I must agree, it is not a one-day job. It is not a one-day job. Justice will be sought, will be found in a subtle manner. It is not by initial gragra. And initial gragra in any situation, in any clan, does not bring forth good fruits. Slow and steady wins the race. My Lord, I want to beseech the public to put a little faith in our system that the Nigerian police would unravel this case. And they have not said it, the work is done. They are not saying the whole thing is closed. As a matter of fact, the Nigerian police is still putting it out that if you have more evidence, bring it forth. Come and talk, bring it forth. I must say to you today and everyone in this courtroom that it is our duty to owe our police to ransom to work. They must work, which they are doing. And it is also our duty to put faith in them. Lastly, my Lord, it is our duty to provide necessary evidence to the police to assist them render their job without any problem. At this point, I want to yield the mic to anyone who still feel like you have a case against anyone or the police at this point. I'm here to defend them. Thank you.
Thank you so
My
much.
Lord, my Lord, I want to make an exemption to what my learned colleague here just stated. My Lord, if you can remember very well, this case is a public case. And I also want to remind you that it is not done anywhere in the world, any part in the world, that the police will give a report based on interrogation and not investigation. Now, in this their report called preliminary report, the police said, and I quote, that Mohbad bled profusely. Now, my Lord, well-meaning Nigerians have been asking, including I myself, from what object what object caused Mohbad to bleed profusely? And ever since then, my Lord, the NPF have not said anything tangible so as to give us an answer to our question. My Lord, please, we really want to know what causes the bleeding of Mohbad that night. And I want my learned colleague here to please give an answer if he has.
Thank you. My Lord, it will please me to inform this court of law today that, like I've reiterated earlier, that justice is a work in progress. And my learned colleague has asked that the police should tell them how, because they said Mohbad bled profusely, and they should bring the evidence forefront that how did he bled profusely. My lord, this is why a case and an autopsy and toxicology process has been initiated. I want to bring it to the notice of this Honorable Court of Law that the result was read some days ago, that it was inconclusive because the boy was buried early. And I want to say
Objection,
this.
my lord.
Objection sustained.
Objection.
Sustained.
Thank you. My lord, I have to come in here because I wasn't pleased with what my colleagues is saying. He said, from his statement, and I quote, he said, where there's no evidences to prove the blood that they said the late singer bled profusely. Don't forget, my lord, I have 3 or 4 witnesses that can look towards the blood bleeding profusely. The mother of the deceased saw the blood as a witness. The mother sister of the deceased saw the blood as a witness as well. Likewise, the father of the deceased as well saw the blood. Those are the witnesses, the 3 witnesses, which if we call them to this honorable court, they will testify to it. That is, yes, they all saw the blood. To the point that the father of the late singer said the duvet was soaked, not even stained, but a word soaked of blood. So if the 3 witnesses can be in this court, ask them the same questions, I'm very sure that they can testify to this as the witnesses. Then after then, they did not even, after then, did police go to the house and do their findings? What happened? What happened? What led to the fight in the house? Did they try to go and use those necessary things to trace the blood, to see, to do their findings in the house by saying what happened, what actually led to that much blood? No, they didn't, sir, my lord. But they just walked towards what they've been told. Is what they've been told. And up to date, another point is the house wasn't sealed off, my lord. I know a lot of people expected that the house should be sealed off by now. But people are still living in that house, celebrating in that house, celebrating birthdays, so many things in the house. And with the day the incident happened, the late singer was placed down the staircase, not even on his bed in his house. They lay him down on the down of the staircase. My lord, is that how it should be? And the father of the deceased felt so bad that they have about 15 people living in the house with them, and nobody, my lord, nobody could say this is what happens to Ilerioluwa Aloba in that house. Nobody. And the wife of the deceased as well, when she was being asked what happened to her husband in the house, he gave like 5-6 hours in coroner inquest. He was given a chance to speak, but all he could say is he didn't give the placenta to the father. That was the reason why he's upset with her. So now we ask a question. Why did you mention the placenta? Who did you give the placenta to? Those are the things that channel our energy to ask for that DNA test, because it is a motive to know what is happening and what happened to Ilerioluwa in that house on that very day. Then, till now, the DNA test hasn't proved. It was served differently later to court to come to the court and ask some question. Why didn't you want to do the DNA? Up to now, the DNA has not been done. And she said she wants a justice for her husband, but she's not pushing. She doesn't have that strength. She's not pushing to get the justice for her late husband. My Lord, if you permit me to play a VN for you, where the wife of the deceased said, do not give the friend of her husband any relevance, because the VN can favor her late husband tomorrow. My Lord, the VN is on ground, is one of the evidences that back up this case. With due respect, my Lord, and we have other videos where some people bullied him and his wife knew about it. The client also said, the wife also said, the deceased also said his wife is there, Cynthia is there. If anything happens to him, Cynthia is there in the car. We have evidences of those videos, my Lord. If you can permit it, this honorable court, for we to place those evidences out, I will appreciate it to back up this case. Because so many things has been missing. Yes, you want to say something?
My Lord, hold on, Brother. My Lord, to further collaborate what my learned colleague here just said, my Lord, I want to take us back to memory lane. Remember, Bumi said Mohbad and Prime Boy had a fight. My Lord, you agree with me that it is not possible for Prime Boy and Mohbad to have a fight in a public space where one or two eyewitnesses will not be there or will not see it. That was a strong allegation, my Lord. Since she said there was a fight, okay, prove that there was a fight. She has been unable to prove that. That aside, my Lord, while they were on their way going back home, one of the people who was sitting in the car with them made us to understand that the wife of the deceased threatened to end his career. As if that wasn't enough, after that threat, my Lord, Mohbad died. My Lord, what are we to make out of this? He threatened to end his career, and shortly after that threat, he was unalive. So, my Lord, with all these few evidences, shows that this young woman is not innocent. My Lord, I want to give the mic to my learned colleague here to carry on.
My Lord, my learned colleague has been able to sustain something that my client is not innocent. And according to my understanding of English, the opposite of innocent is guilty. I want to argue further that my client here is not guilty, because it has not been proven by this honorable court of law that my client here is guilty of anything. We are accusing a young woman, a law-abiding woman, of unaliving her husband. Why? Without evidence, my Lord. I want to prove to this court of law that anything that you are bringing to this court must be evidenced, backed up. You must bring forth an evidence to be able to accuse anyone of being guilty of any charge against them. My learned colleague has not been able to provide any evidence aside from hearsays that may or may not be right. We know we must not be putting someone through all these things because of the fact that they are just
Objection, Mr. Wells. Objection.
Call me a lawyer
Objection.
at this court of law.
Okay,
I am
barrister.
your learned colleague.
Barrister ni.
Collinton.
Okay,
Go on.
okay.
Sustained.
Okay, objection. Thank you, my Lord, for permitting me to speak further. My colleague says there is no evidences to back up everything we are saying. My Lord, with due respect, if you remember what I said earlier, that if you can permit me, this honorable court can permit me to play some of the videos and some of the voice notes that was being housed by the late wife, the late singer's wife, to the point that he threatened the father-in-law, saying if anything should happen to her son, happen to her mother, the man is going to die. And that is a very harsh word to use for somebody, my Lord. We have all those videos. We have all the VN. If you this court can permit us, we're going to play all of them. We have them. Those are we have those backing up as evidences to prove our innocence of what happens to late Ilerioluwa Aloba.
Going forward, the commenters.
So if my colleagues,
hold on, please. Going forward, the commenters are the commenters as an accord is the judge in this case. Please, do you want her to play this evidence she wants to proffer? Please let us see it in this comment section within the next 10
Yes,
seconds or
yes,
so.
yes, we want to hear it.
Yes, please.
Anikuro Mileni. Okay, we will play some of them, my Lord.
Go on. I think everybody wants to listen.
Furthermore, okay, and furthermore, my Lord, there is one that is the
Please,
brother
power
to the
couple.
to
Please,
the
power
late
couple.
singer father that said his wife even said, what? So I will take my time, my Lord. I want you to give me the permission to take my time to play to search and bring my evidences on some of those VN and the videos that was being shown before my Lord. I rest my case.
All right, being at that, you can go on to search for that. We have Precious Prince here, and she has not been speaking. I don't know if she has one or two things to put in, or she is on my side as a fake lawyer that is on for Wunmi Cynthia Aloba in this honorable court of law. Do you want to side me or you want to be with the other team? I think I'm alone and I don't want to be alone. Are you there, Precious Princess?
No, I'm not your side, though. I mean, that thing. No.
Who no like better thing?
But for a fact, I believe that if we are going by emotions with this case, I really respect Papariano so much that I'm always a silent listener on any platform I go. And if you people know this, my handle, you realize that I've been doing my own bit for the Justice for Mohbad score. But I always like to be a silent listener, learning from many hosts. And I see Papariano as very spectacular when it comes to this call for justice. He has been able to bring scientific approach to finding this thing, at least a bit online. And it has been a source of inspiration to me for a while now. And I want to give him kudos for that. For real. I've been finding a means to say this to him for a while now. That no, you are really different from many other hosts that have really overflogged this issue. And I want to say something. I know many people will not agree with me that many of our hosts that are calling for justice for Mohbad really botched this case. I don't know if I'm just alone with these thoughts. They botched this case with their overflogging of issues, and they have not been able to come out with concrete things that could have nailed these perpetrators of the death of Mohbad. They only come online to play their own wittiness, if I must say. But of course, we must be devoid of our emotions. to get what we want. We are all here wanting justice. We are all here wanting justice. At a time, like I want to calculate the time. Maybe 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, Papariano was really he was hammering on one fact that the lawyer of Baba Mohbad and every one of them should be doing some things that they were not doing. I mean, some weeks ago they came out that yes, they are doing it, but it is under G and all. But if you are doing some things under G, we should be seeing the results. If you agree with me, but we are not seeing those results, and you are saying they have been doing them under G. It is either you are not doing them, or we are all here online just trying to do things, and you guys are not even backing us up with the action. This is out of the court of law now. I'm just putting my own thoughts out and really giving kudos to Papariano for doing his job right. He's a host I so much love. I must confess that here today. I must confess it. Papariano has been doing spectacularly well. So in the meantime, I don't know if Golden Sea have seen that evidence to tell us that my client is innocent as charged. Is my client innocent? Are you trying to bring out a voice note that would lay more claim that
Yes,
my
yes.
client
I'm
is
trying to
innocent?
pile them together. I'm piling it together. Hold on.
Thank you for letting this honorable court know that you want to exonerate my client, and we really appreciate you to bring those evidence and be done with this case once and for all, and my client can go on with her daily life, and she can just mourn her husband in peace without the public calling her out every day. My client is a very law-abiding citizen. She is a very law-abiding citizen. Go to any record of the police there and bring out one name of Mrs. Cynthia Aloba as a criminal once in a place or has done something wrong, contradicting the law of
Baba said that
Nigeria.
she's no longer a lover. Baba said that she's no longer a lover. So don't call her Wumi or Cynthia a lover.
Objection. Until proven that baby Liam is not Mohbad's son, I want us to please be restrained with our words that she's not a lover. No. As it is today, the status quo remains that she has a boy, bouncing baby boy, fine boy, great tomorrow, and a boy that has been left that Mohbad left to us to cater for. Until proven else otherwise, I want you to accord my client as Mrs. Wumi Cynthia Aloba. Thank you.
Objection, my lord. Objection, my lord. My lord, since my learned colleague over here wants me to wants us to be calling Cynthia Adebanjo Aloba until Liam is being proven that is not from Mohbad. It's the same way too. I want to take an exception that how are we even sure that Liam actually is from Mohbad? So on this matter, my lord, I suggest that whoever chooses to call her whatever he or she wants to call her is free, because she has been given enough of time to prove the paternity of this boy. Yet she has been rigmaroling, perambulating, moving in a serpentine manner, dodging the court order that she requested. So, my lord, please, whenever anybody wants to addresses her as Adebanjo, I think the person is free.
I take exception with this honorable court of law, and I want this court of law to restrain my learned colleague here by giving the privilege to the public by removing the Aloba name from my client here. As the status quo remain, before the death of Mr. Ilerioluwa, Promise Aloba, he has always regarded Mrs. Wunmi Cynthia Aloba as his wife, and they have a bouncing baby boy. According to the Nigerian constitution, she is married. She is legally, although traditionally, married to the late singer. And that is the status quo. And I want this honorable court to retain that status quo until proven otherwise. I submit. I beg, may una no come roast me now. Wetin happen? Everybody just dey come back. Wetin happen? We are playing devil's advocate here, and I'm not an anti-justice. We are just looking at possible ways that the perpetrators can get away from this debt hanging around their neck. As the case is now, we've not been able to hold anyone responsible for this debt, except for our emotions and our intelligence that if this is this, if this is that, if this is this, then this is how it actually occurred. But without evidence, I don't think any court of competent jurisdiction will give any verdict to charge anyone being guilty of what is not backed with evidence. So with that case, I think at this point in time, at this point of our conversation, we still need to understand that emotions doesn't win any case in the court of law, except from evidences. So what I'm, however, skeptical of is that the people we are fighting, or let me just say, the people we are alleging of this debt around that is surrounding the late singer might take a clue from our discussion, our intelligent discussion here, and start working on them. I'm very skeptical of that fact of so although I'm putting all my A games here, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just putting all my A games to try and defend the indefensible anyways. But all well and good. It's been going on really fine. Yes, according to Mercy Find Me, this Mercy Find Me is saying, I think all these lawyers are junior. They are not even lawyers. I'm not a lawyer, I'm a photographer. Imagine a photographer trying to defend you in the court of my law. Say one. Another portion of rice here.
Mercy Find Me. Come and defend whoever it is you want to defend.
Come up, if you can. Anybody you want to defend, I will take.
We're just playing the scenario here.
Yeah, we are just playing scenario, exactly.
So just come up, Mercy Find Me. Come and school us, please.
I put I put up a post on my page recently, and I was actually asking Mohbad some serious questions that have been bothering my mind for a while. And that question is based on one thing. As I've said earlier, that I'm a silent listener on most platforms. And I realized that many people have been saying many things, but they all boils down to only one thing. And what was that thing? Is that Mohbad stood in a toxic relationship. Because if you hear Baba has been saying, Mohbad come to me, he said, and so many other people saying many things about the wife. Why did Mohbad stay in that relationship? Why? You are not comfortable with your spouse, but you've gone up to write a song that she loves me, I love her too. Bad girl, she don't get her too. Call me for after her too. I know they sleep like, oh Juju. She sweet like vanilla. Joseph Upelu Maria. I sabi her for my area. She they make me sick like malaria. And he even said something in that lyric. He said, she loves me and I love her too. That is very deep. It means that you stood in that relationship knowing fully well it is toxic, but you are good with it. Why? And I placed four reasons for a man to do just that. I said, number one is that is it that this lady is very, very extremely good in bed? What do you expect? A lady that can whine for you, that can give you all the styles you want in this life, and you say that one is toxic. Makusibel, someone I know, she man be me debe. That is number one point. Now, number second point is that was this girl spiritually well? I've heard it so many times that some ladies, if you meet with them in life, your everything you lay your hands upon will just be turning gold. You just start to see different blessings from everywhere. That means they are spiritually good. So if you meet any bad thing in that kind of relationship, do you want to leave money or you want to, that is another reason to stay in a toxic relationship. And number three, I also said that could it be that juju is involved? Could there be some vegetable involved? And Mohbad has sang it to the Kayamata, all those stuff. He is fond of using Kayamata in many of his lyrics. Look at me. I listen to Mohbad. 70% of the music I listen to every day is Mohbad song because I've been so infatuated by him. Ever since I love Mohbad even before he's dead. So when he died, I've always loved him, and that was when I started digging deep into his lyrics. He always used Kayamata, all those stuffs in his lyrics, and he's always so fond. Go and check Mohbad's songs very well. He's also fond of saying "Mate mi mole," don't step on my toes. He has said it in countless number of his songs. So, looking at these 3 points first, that is this lady good in bed? Is she spiritually inclined? Is juju involved? And whatever other people are thinking. But why would Mohbad stay in a toxic relationship? Why? He's not here to tell us this is why he stood in that relationship, though. He's not here. It's a rhetorical question but it is still there. Mohbad have called himself Imole for a reason. Is it Imole to show us some things going deep in the industry? Or is it Imole to show us some crazy things that can happen in a relationship? As everything of Mohbad has been opened in the forefront. And I feel the only thing we can do as rightful thinking people is to learn from the lifestyle of this guy and to use it to our own advantage and with our own dealings in life. I think that is why this guy called himself Imole in the first place. So, looking at Golden Seal, you have not seen this, so that this court is in a recess right now. So,
Wait, to further add to what you just said now, it might be any of these 3 things you just mentioned, and ironically, it might not be. You get? Now, this is my own take. I really do not know for how long Mohbad was crushing on Wunmi, or how long Mohbad was chasing Wunmi. You get? But one thing I know for sure is then Mohbad was kind of attracted to Wunmi. What he saw is what I can't tell. It might be looks, it might be the aura she possesses, it might be her shape, or just whatever. You get? So down the line, it happens to be that these 2 people now connected. What made them to connect, I still can't tell. However, I think Wunmi was not that deep into Mohbad, just like Mohbad was so deep into Wunmi, I think. Now, here is the thing. To Mohbad really wanted something to do with Wunmi. You get like, okay, I like you, this, that, and that, and that, and that, and I want us to go on and on and on. But on Wumi's own side, I really do not know the kind of exposure she had or she has, right? And Wumi was seeing clearly that Mohbad was so deep into her, sorry. So she took that to her own advantage, thereby making Mohbad her safety husband or her safety man. The reason why I said this is, like I said before now, I really do not know her level of exposure as to when Mohbad was chasing her. Now, Wumi, as a young girl she is, has life that she wants to play. You get? She has life that she wants to play. Come on, like, you know, this person likes me, this person likes me, this person likes me. So she's seeing herself as a hot cake. You get? Now, Mohbad, she can control Mohbad.
Your background is kind of flawed in some kind.
Hello, can you hear me better now?
Yeah. I think it's better.
Okay. Now, she wants somebody who will be there, and why she is doing her own stuff. You get? Why she's doing her own stuff. Somebody, in the sense that whenever she's done with whatever she wants to do, like the kind of life she wants to play, she can easily fall back to that person. You get? She can easily fall back to that person, thinking that that person will be there and the person will just accept her the way she is, owing to the fact that the person love her so much. And it happens to be that Mohbad fit that description. You understand? Now, down the line, I really do not know how the marriage of 15 happened. Like the story they give us before now, that Mohbad don't have anything. He was struggling with Mohbad and stuff like that and that and that. She was there with Mohbad, not like she was struggling with Mohbad. She was there with Mohbad and stuff like that. It might actually be true. Get? And which might be the reason as to why Mohbad also like kind of taking her serious. But something changed along the line. You get? Something changed along the line. Wumi stopped being faithful. You understand? And now Mohbad, owing to the fact that he has come into the limelight, he's not like that. You understand? Now, was not thinking Wumi will calm down. You understand? Maybe thinking as to why the reason he was meeting other guys was as a result of money. Okay, now I don't get this money. Oh yeah, calm down. Moku the rule. Yet Mohbad wasn't seeing all those changes in her. She dey get. So now wetin come make Mohbad wan come waka?
Okay, can I say something else?
You understand? Please, hold on. When I say you come now, no, I think make Mohbad wan come.
Okay.
Wan come move. You understand? Now she now allowed her emotion to get a better hold of her. Now she cannot handle her losses. You understand? And another reason as to why Mohbad will want to leave might be as a result of Liam. You get? Might be as a result of Liam. See, if actually Liam is for Mohbad, if actually Liam is for Mohbad, Mohbad would not, although it will be hurting, no, but he wouldn't want to leave. You understand? But the guy don't place in 2+2. Can't say the thing give am 4. Come no say no, this child is not for me. That was why he wanted to leave. So Wumi now took everything extra, and this is where we are today.
Anyways,
get?
I think you are right to your own very big rights that you have. But on the comment section, I read one person saying Ajara Musu saying good said good lapiopio skills cannot keep a man. I'm a man, and I take exception to that statement. Good lapiopio skill can keep a man in a toxic relationship. Yes, yes. Our brains are wired differently. And that is where the psychologists said something. They said there is individual differences. Now, taking cognizance of individual differences, my brain is differently wired from yours. There are some psychological traits I would exhibit that you might find it funny. It might be because of the nagging nature of my wife that made me love her. It might be because of the lapiopio skills. As somebody have also said, men loves bad girls. Yes, I've seen it in some people that you will see a pastor who go and marry a, maybe a porn star self. It is not because the person is bad, but that is what he loves in the woman. Anyway,
Sorry,
Golden Seal
sorry,
is not
Mr.
here.
Wells.
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Wells.
Akunle.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I dare out sit here because I've been the devil advocate in everything.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyways, it's just for education and exposure. Anyways, let's not go away from the court arguments for our own. It's interesting. So let's let's continue on the court argument. I
All
don't know.
right, let us
Were you
resume.
representing? Were you
Let us resume.
representing which party?
Now, hold on, Mr. Akunle. 1 minute, please. The court has been on a recess for a while, and it is just
Okay.
to make all of us get some little snacks. And now that I feel like everyone have been entertained, let us go back to the business of the day. We are in a moot court where we are discussing an intelligent discussion. And I also have another lawyer here, although a fake barrister. I am the fake Collington on seat. Um, my learned colleague here, um, barrister JCCJ, maybe Chief Judge, and
Okay, is the
barrister
chief
Kunle.
judge?
I don't
Okay.
even know.
No, I'm not a barrister. I'm a son. I'm a son. I'm not a barrister.
Senior advocate of Nigeria, my
Yes.
senior colleague here, are here to defend. Please introduce yourself, sir.
All right. May it please the courts, my lord. I don't know, my lord. Are you there?
The commenters the commenters are the judge, but we will just lay our
No, no.
side
The
of the
commenters can't be the judge. It's without the. We
ah
have to have a judge in the panel so that the judge
okay.
can be able to
Precious
stop
Prince,
some excess.
Precious Prince have not been able to take any side since JCCJ have taken side, so I might not
Okay,
be
precious
happy with his
princess, are you
judgment.
there?
Anyways, Precious Prince have not taken any side, so can you be our judge in this high court today?
Okay.
All right,
All
the
right.
judge is
So
on seat. Let
okay, that's
the
great.
prosecution
So
or
so you are representing Wumi, right?
I might represent women, I might represent Aba Moba, anybody.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
want
no.
to.
We have to introduce ourselves, so we'll tell who we are actually, who is our client.
All right, introduce yourself, and I will introduce my client, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that honor. May it please the court, my lord. I am Olakunle Tinubu, the senior advocate of Nigeria, representing Mr. Aloba Joseph. I appear for the prosecution together with my learned. I don't know. My counsel is not here. Anyways, if the person comes, I will introduce my co-counsel. With the court's permission, I would like to proceed with the order of the day. Thank you.
Before we go further, Precious Princess, because you are our judge here, we will call for objections, and it is in your right duty to obligate the objections, sustaining the objections, and to overrule them. Um, Thank you to this very honorable court of law. My name is Obadra Welt, not yet a son. and here with my client, Mrs. Wumi Cynthia Aloba, and I'm here to defend my client. Can you lay your case to this honorable court of law? Son, please go on, sir.
All right, thank you. um, my lord, um, it's a privilege to actually be in this court today. And although my co-counsel is on his way, probably is held by traffic, or whichever way we'll proceed. Well, we have a case here, a case of an alleged homicide. Well, we all know about this case. It's not something that is actually strange to anyone again. It's a very, very popular case now, of which we all know that till date, we have not been able to do justice to that. And that is why we are here today, so that, my Lord, you can assist us so that we'll get justice. So I would like to brief us on this so that we can know what we've gotten and the way to go. My client here is actually somebody. My client here is actually somebody who is not too wealthy, is not too famous, but is somehow unfortunate. But whichever way, the law we operate here does not is a respecter of no status, no bank account status, or no whatever affiliation, and that is why he is actually trusted in this process and has actually approached the courts to seek justice for his deceased son. Well, this the deceased happened to die in his house, and we expect that every persons who were there with him or within the last 48 hours should be questioned, they should be interrogated, and they should be able to provide necessary information that would lead to the unraveling of what is the cause of the death. Also, I want the court to also kindly help to help us. I want the court to also help us do a justice to the fact that whoever is actually being called upon should kindly give his truth, and the court should also guarantee their protection, their witness right protection, and everything, so that after now they would not be intimidated, or they will not be mad, or they will not be influenced in whatever way. So I'll rest for now, my lord. Thank you.
At this honorable court of law today, I'm happy to introduce my law-abiding client, Mrs. Wumi Cynthia Aloba, who has been chastised by the public, who has been misinformed by some touts parading themselves as justice for Mohbad team. We are also looking for justice, and we would be very happy to put in our own quota with the activities going on by the police force of Nigeria. We will put our own quota to make sure the death surrounding the cause of death surrounding the demise of the late singer, which is the husband of my client, is unraveled. And according to my learned colleague here, he has asked for protection for those that will come forward to put their own quotas to witness, to say what they've seen, and to help this case going forward. I also assume to that, and we are part of just the justice system. And however, I want to really call on the general public, if this honorable court will permit me, my lord, if I may, I want this court to make it a prohibition for anyone to say negative things against my client here, because my client have proven beyond any reasonable doubt that she has nothing to do with the demise of her husband rather. So it would be unjust, and it will not be it will be a clog in the wheel of justice by meting injustice on my client, by calling her different names on their social media platform. I wish this court would grant that request by prohibiting anyone by calling my client any name aside Mrs. Wumi Cynthia Aloba, any acronym, any alias aside being a good wife, being a good Nigerian citizen, law abiding, should be frowned upon and should be punishable. Thank you. I yield.
My lord, if I may, I'd like to further with my my notes so as to make this honorable court further understand what is happening and what we should do. My lord, we have presented several reasons and evidences to consider the deceased wife as a suspect, not just a suspect, as a major suspect, and request this court to proceed with trying her as one. Well, it has come to our attention that the wife was in the presence of the deceased even at the point of death. This fact raises a very important question about her potential involvement in the circumstances that might have led to the demise of Mohbad. Also, I have reasons to also believe that the wife may have a motive to have probably harmed the deceased as a way to cover up certain secrets or certain abnormalities that she had played in the past. And this could be either based on paternity dispute, financial gains, and lot more. So with all this, I want the honorable court to please grant that we can formally address her as a suspect in order to restrict her from any further travelings or a possible escape from justice. I'll rest for now, my lord. Thank you.
My lord, and to this honorable court of law, I regard the statement by my learned senior colleague here as a big impunity on the name of my client. You are as well saying it would have been better for my client to leave the side of her husband as at the time she should be there. You are saying that she was at the scene when this late singer died. This is something I find very it is not something I find very pleasant, because if I may ask from my learned colleague, where else would a wife be if not by the side of her husband. So staying by the side of her husband now has now been is now a tantamount to being a suspect. This is ridiculous, my lord. I urge this court of law to restrain my learned colleague here by saying my client should be put in place of a suspect. My client here should be put in place of a witness and not a suspect. She doesn't have anything to do with the death of her husband by all standards, by every evidence, orally, physical, everything that has been put in front of this court of law. No one, and I repeat, my lord, no one can come out here and say, this is how my client, Mrs. Cynthia Aloba, unalived her husband. They can't. So why would we put a grieving woman into this kind of mess? I think all the shout on social media is just hula baloo that doesn't hold any water. The brouhaha that doesn't hold any evidence. I resist that language. And I say with all my hands on my chest that my client should not be put through all these things she has been going through just because she is still grieving. She is a law-abiding citizen and she knows nothing about the death of her husband. I rest my case in front of this court of law. I shall pick it further if any other unaligning language is used to qualify my client here. Thank you.
Well, just like we all know, we are entitled to our opinion, and however, we should also know that most times opinion are not facts. They might just be words to probably polish some atrocities and sell it to the public in order for them to be brainwashed. But just like definitely, I know that these honorable courts cannot be brainwashed. These honorable courts are very intelligent. These honorable courts, we all are very, very smart and will not fall for such. Now, let us proceed. Um, just my colleague has said, the wife has been around the deceased even till the point of pie. Now, if any event happens, you must interrogate for you to get information, for you to gather evidences, and be sure of what is the cause of that event. If you ask me, the wife is in the best position to be in this honorable court and explain to the world, telling us what happened, telling us what really happened, not by coming through some platforms, putting up a crocodile tears, and paying certain bloggers to come and whitewash.
Objection, my lord. Objection, my lord.
Well,
How would objection, my
well,
lord?
Objection
Objection, my lord.
overruled.
thank you very much. So, my lord, thank you for granting this privilege. And however, I want us to understand. I want us to understand the importance of a human life. A human life is something that we must cherish, and we cannot afford to be negligent towards it. We can't pretend like a human life is more like a chicken that you can just get to cut off anytime and you can do whatever with it. No. Even in the United States, you can't just buy a pet just anyhow, not to now talk of a human being. I want this honorable court to put more light, to get more focus on this matter, and to allow nobody, allow no single person, whoever the person may be, to distract us or to possibly sell fake allegations to us. We all know that when an event happened, you have to interrogate persons, especially those who are there.